but certainly if I'm passionately against something, I'm going to let it know, and I'm going to fight for my constituents accordingly.
Thank you. Rich, a 60-second response to the same question. Would you like to repeat it? Summerfield residents, and even those of neighboring communities, have sometimes been appalled at the behavior of the current town council. Do you think that their reaction is justified? What, if anything, would you do differently to work with those council members whose opinions differ from your own?
Well, I think the first thing is establish a level of I guess, properness, that you don't need to personalize an attack just to support your opinion or to better your side. You need to actually focus on the facts and really focus the conversation on the issue and the facts at hand. Try not to personalize it. That's where a lot of the problems come in, and that's where you get a lot of these he said, she said situations that I think are destructive, not constructive.
And Diane, a 60-second response to the same question. Would you like to repeat?
No. I think that all of us have, and I said this in my comments to the Northwest Observer, we all have pet peeves and we all have pet projects. We can become very impassioned about them when we're presenting them sometimes. And sometimes that's mistaken for being rude. I'm sure that all the council that have had some things to say have meant them for the best of the town. However, I think that each council member should look at themselves and say, after the meeting, even maybe before meetings, did I bring all I could to this table for this meeting, for this problem, for this circumstance? What could I have done differently? You know, we're so busy looking at what everybody else is doing, we forget to look at ourselves. So I say, look back into ourselves as council people and see that we're getting the point across, and we're not here for argument. We're here to see that the people are informed, that they leave with a question answer.
Thank you. Becky, this next question's for you. A 60-second response, please. On your website, you claim to have supported and advocated passive parks, which citizens indicated they wanted by returning a professional survey to the town in 2006. However, some of your actions and votes have shown a strong opposition to, rather than support for the community park, especially Phase 2. How do you explain your claims versus your actions and votes?
Just read that again.
Yes, ma'am.
That's an awful long question.
On your website, you claim that you have supported and advocated passive parks, which citizens indicated they wanted by returning a professional survey to the town in 2006. However, some of your actions and votes have shown a strong opposition to, rather than support for the community park, especially Phase 2. How do you explain your claims versus your actions and votes?
I don't think I have deviated on my claims and my votes on that. I have supported passive parks as they were delineated in Dr. Seller's survey, and the return of that survey by the majority of the citizens. They indicated they wanted a passive park, walking trails, whatever, and eliminate low cost maintenance. And I think that's what I have proposed throughout the 4 years I've been on council.
Thank you. John, a 60-second response to this question. Do you think an ethics policy is needed for the Summerfield council members? If so, specifically, what do you think it should include, and how would it affect council members?
Yes, I do. All of these subjects, the guidelines to go by, and I think the action of the council is it should be answered to the public. An ethics committee policy will let each council member know exactly what is expected from them. And I also think if they violate the ethics policy, that's some sort of action should be taken against it.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to give our timekeeper another break here. A 5-second response to this question, please. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being totally incompetent, I'm sorry, with 1 being totally incompetent and 10 being extremely competent. Don, the town manager's overall job performance has been openly criticized by some council members. On that scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the performance of the town manager?
I think Mike is at least at 8. He's got a lot on his plate, town's still moving forward, we're kind of doing some things, overall an 8.
Thank you. Mark, the same question. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being totally incompetent, 10 being extremely competent. The town manager's overall job performance has been openly criticized by some council members. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the performance of the town manager?
The same, John, 8.
John?
I'd say 8. He had a lot going. We're short
5 seconds.
several staff members that he had took up their job and doing them. He just got too much going, but he was really going good.
Thank you. Becky?
Aye.
Rich?
Based on my dealings, an 8.
Diane?
I would say an 8, and I worked with the main.
And Jeff?
I can't answer that question. I mean, I haven't looked at Mark, I'm sorry, not Mark, Michael, from that standpoint. So,
Some questions from the audience. This first question to Becky. What is your stance on a hydrant system in Summerfield for emergency service purposes only?
I'm sorry, say again.
What is your stance on a hydrant system in Summerfield for emergency service purposes only?
I don't know that that can be done. I know we have several wells, well, not wells, excuse me, ponds that they use for emergency services to keep their tankers full. And I don't know that there's been any problem with that. I don't know that anybody's house has burned down for lack of water since I've been on council.
John, a 1-minute response to the same question. What is your stance on a hydrant system in Summerfield for emergency service purposes only?
I feel like it's a necessity. We need it. We got a lot of big houses in the town, and also the dry hydrant system is starting to dry up. We have fewer now than we did, and so we need to have a backup system. Also, it takes a lot of fire personnel to operate the dry hydrant system as it would a hydrant system, and it's more safer.
Thank you. A question, Rich, for you. A 1-minute response, please. What is the most difficult decision or vote you've made on the zoning board? And has your time on the board helped qualify you for the town council?
Probably the most difficult, and I actually voted against the majority, was Kay Hovnanian was asking for a rezoning. I believe it was on Pleasant Ridge Road. And part of the obligation that the zoning board has is to meet certain criteria and determine whether or not the applicant has met that for the rezoning. And based on my evaluation, the applicant did. I will say that I wasn't pleased with the development, but that's not really my decision to make based on the charge of the zoning board and their evaluation of the ordinance.
Thank you. Diane, question for you. 1-minute response, please. What was the most difficult situation you dealt with as town clerk, and how will it help you on the council?
I think people didn't know that they were coming to the town hall, and they didn't know I wasn't part of the council, and I got jumped on because of taxes, I got jumped on because of garbage pickup, garbage cans being thrown out, you know. So I said, I just work here, folks. I would, you know, say to them, I will get an answer to you, and I did call the appropriate people. You know, one time we had a dig hall dog down here in this. I don't know if y'all agree with that or not, but